there's some variance there for sure. But all these breeds out there, there's hundreds of them that have been around a long time, and they were all concept breeds at one time.
Yeah,
You know, they
absolutely.
they all were. So, and that's cool. And what's neat about so many of them is they've had staying power. They're still here. Some of them have gone extinct, but a lot of them are still here, and that is really neat. I love the idea. Like in my head, I'm gonna die someday. What if there were still Mollosso Presa Mayos around in
Hmm.
100 years? How cool would that be? That's a cool thought to me. Uh, if people just kept moving forward with it, that would be really neat. Who knows what's going to happen? But that has happened already in other breeds and continues to happen. So the evolution of all that is really uh, there's so much history there, right? There's such a story behind some of these breeds, and that's really really neat. And it would be a shame if that went away. And then there's dogs in the pound, which are good little dogs and pets or whatever, and they have a story too, but it's much less interesting. It's a, it's definitely a just ran across the street and went at it over here, and then that one ran across the street and went at it over here, and it's just kind of a messy story. But but the history and the culture behind these purebred dogs is it's romantic.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's art. It really is it's an art form, and it's cool. So you know I'm not doing this to ruin other breeds. I'm just doing it to make another one. And I'm a firm believer in, if you have a purebred dog that's um, a good example of its breed, then it should be used for that breed. It should be used to perpetuate the species, so to
Hmm.
speak.
Hmm.
And I've always done that. Like I'm doing some things, I'm crossing some things, but those specimens that I've used are also being used to further their own kind,
Yep.
and I think that's important. I would never have a beautiful specimen of a specific breed, and for lack of better terms, waste it. To just do some experiments, so to speak. I think it's important to do both.
And there's actually in the AKC world, there are provisions. The AKC will allow all breed clubs to add like outcross their
Yeah,
blood
yeah.
to other breeds, but it's a particular the process you have to go through to allow them to do it. They really spell it out very specifically, but that provision is very seldomly used.
I'm more excited about, the next 5 to 10 years, maybe throwing our own dog show just for the people involved. Wouldn't that be neat to
Yes.
see
Yeah.
30 of them,
Yeah, absolutely.
and see, and that could happen realistically. That could happen within the next 10 years. I still wouldn't consider them a purebred dog. Uh, but it would be pretty cool to see, 20, 30 dogs that represent the goals
Mhm.
well. That would be really neat, wouldn't it? I'm dealing with giants and stuff. I
Mhm.
can't I can't have that many dogs. It takes a lot of dogs to build a breed. You need help. You need an army. It's slowly starting to happen right now. Like I said, we got some help in South America, and then anybody that buys one of these puppies as a breeding specimen, hopefully they'll stick with it. Um, and once that starts to happen, it's just a domino effect, right? Like I'll probably have 5 or 6 puppies out of this litter that I want to move forward with. Well, once those dogs have offspring, that's a lot of dogs. Do the math. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? That's a lot of dogs. So things start moving quick once you get to that third generation, right? And then whoever, our dear friend in South America, uh, he has a lot more. He's got a better facility than I do, and more means than I do, and he's very good. He knows exactly what he's doing. and he understands the concept very well. We've had a lot of conversations about it. I could see him passing me up pretty quick, just as far as his advancement with it, just simply because of what he has the ability to do. And I'm all for it. Whatever gets this thing going, because I want the dog, I want the dog. So if he gets there before I do, you know who you are. You better give me one.
Right. Right.
You better hand it over, you dirty bastard.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it just wouldn't be right, It would just be terrible.
Right.
So, anyways, we sure are having fun though. It's all smiles, and you know what? For the most part, the so many messages, right? So many comments, so many opinions. For the most part, very positive. The negative ones are loud for sure. They're very loud, but the big portion, the big reaction, I think there's a lot. There's just such a big group of people out there that are like, they're just rooting for it.
Thanks for watching the Bulldog Social Club, and please like and subscribe.